Well, the South African Communist Party Secretary General Mapaila is currently speaking at an event on the 30th anniversary since the death of former SACP General Secretary Joe Slovo. Let's listen in.
Ultimately took a board in our country. Slovo will later on participate as a young activist in the trade union movement, where he also became a shop steward and led militant struggles for the rights of workers at the shop floor. Of which one of these strikes, Comrade Mike, he was disappointed with, because when the bosses responded to the strike, they improved the working conditions of the white workers in exclusion of black workers. They increased the salary of the white workers. Bashiaba mnyama. What do Slovo know? This is not how it should be. Kufuneka ukuthi wonke umsebenzi idingo zakhe zinakekele. On that basis, he led much more other strikes. And he got involved to understand the system of racism in South Africa. Of course, later on, as a young man, he was enlisted in the army to join the South African Legion that was fighting in the Second World War, the war of imperialism, the war in which the working class paid heavily to practically save the entire humanity from Nazism and fascism. But this was a war of imperialism. As we are now seeing other wars of imperialism across the world today, including the imperialist war in the front of Ukraine against the Russian Federation. The entire Europe and America are in that war. Of course, Communist Russia, the Soviet Union, paid the supreme sacrifice more than all other countries combined in that Second World War. And communist cadres and members were in the forefront to save humanity. The Soviet Union lost more than 10 million people in that war to save humanity. Today, the symbols of those fighters, of those communists who died saving the world, have been desecrated all over Europe. Onwankulu abana danki. And izawuhlala injalo lento. So Slovo, when he came back, joined our liberation movement, went to study at Wits University as a gesture from the colonial regime that granted bursaries to the returning soldiers from the Second World War. The black soldiers, banikwa nje ama-bicycle, sometimes the bad weapons, the bad guns, iqwasha, abelungu, bayiswa esikoleni. And that's where Slovo will meet President Nelson Mandela as a student and others at Wits. He will also join the Communist Party and later on rose through its ranks to become General Secretary. Of course, the critical task that perhaps for me outperformed others was his job when he was given the task of Chief of Staff of the People's Liberation Army, Umkhonto weSizwe. He led in the front lines as Chief of Special Operations, and he commanded that unit, commanded as well by Comrade Bani Mulukwane, Commander Bani Mulukwane and others. The unit that hit the belly of apartheid, the unit that attacked military headquarters in Fort Trekker-Hoogte now called Tabatwan, in Pretoria. The unit that hit Sasol 1 and Sasol 2. The unit that hit Kubek nuclear station. Indicating to the enemy that we can penetrate deep inside and destroy you if we want.
All right, that is Mapaila, the SACP Secretary General, and he is currently addressing the attendees there on the 30th anniversary of the death, since the death of former SACP General Secretary Joe Slovo.